All right, hi everyone. I can see quite a number of persons are joining into the meeting. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Women Techsters Open Day. It is the very first for the month of January and even for the 2024. So I'd just like to see everyone. I'd just like to tell everyone welcome, Happy New Year to some of us, to all of us, and welcome once again to the Women Textile Open Day. We are really, really glad and elated to have you. Thank you so much. If you know someone who registered for this program and they would like to, come in and they are supposed to be here, you could just tell them a message that yes, we have started. So we're making use of the chat to interact. We'll be making use of the chat to interact. Could just introduce yourself, let us know where you're joining in from, what's your name, where you're joining in from, what are some of the things, some of the expectations that you have. We already have all of our guests on the call. We already have all of our guest speakers on the call who are ready to receive and who are ready to, share out of their wealth of knowledge to us. So if you're joining in, welcome, welcome, welcome once again. This is the Women Texas Open Day, and we are really elated to have you. We're really glad to have you join us. Kindly use the chat to respond to let us know where you're joining us from, what your name is, where you're joining us from, what expectations you have towards this meeting that you joined in. You could just look above at the toolbar above, you'd see the chat that you can make use of. So would like to hear from you, would like to meet everyone if you're just joining in. Welcome once again. So would like to meet everyone. This is the Women Textiles Open Day, and we are thrilled and we are glad to have you. This is the very first for the year 2024. So I'd like to meet us. Please let me know what your name is, where you're joining in from, what expectations you have towards this webinar. Would you like to take some time, just let me know. Okay, I can see Blessing Basi who says she's joining in from Abuja, Nigeria. Hi, Blessing, awesome. I can see Fadausi, please pardon me if I mispronounced your name, who is also joining from Bauchi State. So I'd like to hear from us as well. What expectations do you have for the meeting? I can see Linda saying she's joining from Nairobi, Kenya. Hi, Linda. How is Nairobi, Kenya today? I can see Ini Ipok from Nigeria saying, I hope to get enlightened and maximize this opportunity. That's really great. I can see Upoma from Delta State. I can see Rosine also joining from Rwanda. Hi, Rosine. Hi, Rwanda today. I can see Hope from Botswana. Awesome. So please just let me know what expectations do you have for joining in today's session? What's something you'd like to learn? What's something you'd like to take home with you as you were signing up for this event? What are just some things that you had in your mind and it's like, oh, I'm coming for this event. This is what I really want to know. This is what I really want to learn. We'd just like to hear from you before I hand the baton over to my executive director. So I can see Precious from Oyo State. I can see Angel from Niger. Please feel free to use the meeting chat and to just share your experiences, to introduce yourself, and so that we can get to know you. So I can see Josephine Chidera says that she's joining from Kaduna, Nigeria, and she hopes to get enlightened and maximize this opportunity in order to start her tech journey. Awesome, awesome. You are really here in the right place. I can see Keba from Botswana as well. So would like to hear from you. So I can see Latifa from Lagos saying that she hopes to get enlightened and land a tech job. Wow, I like that. I can see Onyinlola saying that she's from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, I think. Okay, from Lagos, Nigeria, and she'd like to learn more about tech space and also interact with the experts. Awesome, awesome. We have them here. I can't pronounce this name, but you're from South Africa. I would really hate to butcher such a beautiful name. Says she's just here expecting more knowledge about tech and she's very, very excited. Great, great. I can see Sonny from Nairobi, Kenya saying that she's looking to switch or transition into tech. Okay, I can see Basi saying she wants to learn how women can join the tech space and expand. Rachel says that she can't wait to learn from the valuable insight from all of our speakers. Oluwakemi, who's joining from Port Harcourt, Nigeria, says she hopes to draw from the wealth of knowledge of the expert present here. And I can tell you that, you are in the right place. So welcome everyone once again. This is the Women Techsters Open Day, and we are thrilled and glad to have you here. It is the very first for the year 2024, and we have all of our speakers on the call who are ready to share with you from their wealth of knowledge. The Women Techsters Open Day is a part of the Women Techsters Initiative, which has we have a goal to reach 5 million women between now and 2030, and we hope to reach them through advocacy and also training. So we have multiple programs through which we ensure that we achieve this goal. We have the Tech Girls Drive and the Women Texas Open Day, which fall under the advocacy component. The Tech Girls Drive, during the Tech Girls Drive, we go to schools and reach out to young girls between age 8 to 20, and it serves as that first touch point for them to actually get to know about tech. And then, of course, we have the Women Texas Open Day, which is where you are, which is an advocacy platform whereby we bring in seasoned women in tech from Africa who can come in and share from their wealth of knowledge. And of course, we have the Women Texas Boot Camp, which is an experiential training for 3 weeks, where you get to learn the basic skills that you would need if you want to say be a data analyst, if you want to be a cybersecurity analyst, if you want to be a product designer, product manager, software engineer, and it runs for 3 weeks every month, right? And then of course you have the Women Sectors Fellowship, which is a 1 year training divided into 6 months of intense training and then 6 months of job placement. And the fellowship application for fellowship just goes out once a year. So and I already got some questions as to some people asking about, oh, when is the fellowship going to start? Just, you'd get to know this very, very soon. And of course, we have the master class, which is for more advanced women in tech, women with between 6 months to at least 5 years experience in tech. So yes, and of course, all of our programs are free. I mean, this is free. All of our training programs are very, very free. So I would like to welcome you all once again to the Women Sectors Open Day. And I'd just like to hand the baton over to my wonderful executive director in person of Oladiwura Oladipo, who is going to give us her welcome address and share some of the thoughtful and beautiful words she has for us. Hi, Diora.
Hi, Aura. How are you?
I'm
Thank you
very
very
well.
much. I mean, it's super great to be here. I think the last time I was on any open day was like maybe 6 months ago. I've been on the road doing a lot of wonderful work, I guess. Uh, so thank you very much once again. Hi, ladies. Hi. If you can say hi in the chat, that would be great. Hi. Hi to our wonderful and amazing speakers as well. Thank you so much. I know you guys are super busy women. Thank you for making out time to be here today. So once again, I'd like to say a very huge welcome to everyone and thank you for joining the January 2024 edition of our virtual Women Texas Open Day program. And like Ora said earlier, this is the very first Open Day program for this year. We're super excited and elated to have all of you wonderful women from across Africa join us today to learn about how to pursue your interest in technology. I am especially awesomely happy, right? And I'd like to welcome all of you again as prospective, especially the women on the call, right? As prospective women texters who have joined us today to learn about starting a career in tech through our Open Day program. I usually will not start any address without giving like a run through on every like open day program. Like I would always give a run through of some of the recent highlights from our Women Texas program and also Tech for Dev in general. I have very exciting news today, and maybe that's why I'm smiling from literally from my left ear to my right ear. Yesterday, Tech for Dev launched the second edition of Africa's largest digital skilling challenge called the Digital for All Challenge. And this challenge is aimed at sort of proliferating digital skills literacy and digital skills for employability. And this challenge is targeting to reach 2 million Nigerians through an incentivized model that is giving out cash prizes as well as other prizes of up to 150 million naira. The learning phase starts on February 5th, and I'm sure that Ore or one of my other colleagues on the call today will share more details later on, how to participate within the challenge and win. Note again that this challenge is for Nigerians. Sorry to my other African sisters on the call, but this challenge is for Nigerians. And I'm super excited about just the possibility of what will happen in terms of like the change within the digital landscape in Nigeria based off of this challenge. You can also follow us on social media for consistent updates. I'm sure that my colleagues in the digital media team will do a better job as providing you updates than I will on this call. Last month, which was, well, literally December 2023, right, we opened the call for application for our Women Techsters Bootcamp course 3.2. And so these applications ran for about 3 weeks. We received a total of 7,358 applications from women across 22 African countries. After a rigorous screening process, 2,510 beneficiaries were admitted into the program. And over the course of the last 2 weeks, the beneficiaries have been receiving trainings in 5 learning tracks. So data analysis, product management, cybersecurity, product design, and software engineering, right, or development, as you would call it. They are currently preparing for their capstone project. I'm sure that they're super busy at the moment, and their graduation is set to be on the 8th of February, 2024. I know that there might be some women here who are unable to join that cohort. So if you're unable to join that cohort, I have good news for you. The call for application for the Bootcamp cohort 3.3 is ongoing, and you still have a chance to apply and take that bold step to become a woman in tech. But please do note that the application closes on Sunday, 28th of January, 2024. Since the inception of the Women Techsters Fellowship, which is sort of like the flagship program within the Women Techsters, which I'm sure that a lot of people know about, we've recorded numerous success stories of women. So mothers, daughters, wives, students, workers, who have defied all odds and paved way for themselves in these ever-evolving technologies. And so, as such, on the 27th of April 2023, we called for an application for the 2024 class of the Women Techsters Fellowship. And this application ran for 6 weeks, which is about a month and a half. And then we recorded a reach of over 122,913 women from across Africa and even outside of the continent. And after carefully reviewing all the applications, we landed at about 7,846 valid applications. And then we successfully admitted 2,014 women into the class of 2024 fellowship program. Furthermore, this year, we launched in 7 new African countries, in addition to the 15 African countries of operations that we already had, making it a total of 22 African countries of operational reach. And these countries are Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, Egypt, DR Congo, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, Madagascar, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Algeria, South Sudan, Morocco, Angola, Mozambique, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Rwanda, Gambia, and Botswana. In October 2023, we held an orientation for the fellows that spanned for about 2 weeks and also included a physical event in Lagos. And our fellows got the opportunity to listen to the most amazing speakers. We had speakers like Kelly Shannon, who is a special agent on cybersecurity with the FBI. We had Lillian Bernard, who is president of Microsoft Africa. We had Salima Ba, who is Minister of ICT for Sierra Leone, and among many other wonderful women in tech come to speak to our fellows. We also held a physical event, like I said earlier, and this served as a platform for the fellows to sort of network together and meet the Tech for Dev team. Their classes commenced in October 2023, and the fellows are currently in their 12th week of training, with some fellows already landing jobs halfway through their journey, which is 3 months out of their 6-month journey. This is such a very interesting statistics that we usually would encounter. And these are some of the updates that I wanted to share with you about the work we're doing outside of this open day in terms of Tech for Dev and Women Techsters. So I'd like to start by saying that the Women Techsters is possible through our organization, Tech for Dev. Tech for Dev is a non-profit organization that creates access to decent work and entrepreneurship opportunities and platforms for Africans. And we do this through digital skills and technology skills empowerment and advocacy. Our vision is to equip Africans with digital and life skills that foster economic prosperity, financial freedom, and sustainable development. The Women Techsters program aims to bridge the digital divide between men and women in the technology ecosystem. And through our pilot program, Nigerian Women Techsters, we enabled almost 3,000 women from between the ages of 16 to 40 across Nigeria over a 3-year period. And we did this to ignite their interest in pursuing careers and businesses in technology. Driven by the success stories of numerous women from the Nigerian Women Texas program, women like Fatima, like Tommy, like Patience, and amongst others, we carved a new ambition and a dream to replicate this model across Africa, providing more women access to opportunities to launch careers and businesses in technology. Our grand dream by 2030 is to reach 5 million women in Africa by empowering them with the knowledge and skills to partake in the technology industry in Africa and the world at large. We believe that empowering change for women across Africa, and as well as providing opportunities to access employment and entrepreneurship, will help to achieve a 50-50 male to female ratio balance in the technology space. The Women Texas Open Day, which is the reason why we're here today, is a monthly virtual program organized for women across Africa to learn about leveraging the power of technology to start and advance their careers, and also create technology and technology-enabled businesses. The Open Day is an opportunity for you all women who are on the call today to interact with other successful women who are speakers on our call today, who have built their careers and businesses in technology over the years. They will be sharing with you their personal experiences. They will speak about possible career paths and business opportunities, and they will help you all appreciate the importance of acquiring digital and deep tech skills in this digital age. I definitely will not end this without appreciating every single person who is here today, as you're here to commence your journeys to becoming women in tech. And I would like to say a very special thank you to our guest speakers, Yasmin, Norma, I tried to pronounce your full name, but I feel like if I try, I might murder your name. So please allow me, Oluwaseto, and our moderator, Temitope, for taking time out of their very busy schedules to be here today to share their stories on their journeys as women in tech. I look forward to a wonderful and fruitful conversation today. Thank you very much. And right over back to you, Ore.
Thank you so very much, Dora. Thank you. Dora is joining us from the abroad, actually. She's not in Nigeria. She's currently in the US and she's doing amazing things for us over there. Thank you, Dora. So right about now, I'll be sharing a video for us just to highlight some of the things that Dora earlier mentioned about the DFA program that we launched yesterday. So I'll be sharing the video now for us to just watch it. Yes.
To have won the intermediate level for the DFA challenge.
The basic level, first position, Nelson Diadam.
I slept with over 2,000 when I woke up a millionaire to be.
All right, I believe that that was quite insightful for some of us. I'll just be calling on one of my colleagues, my senior colleague here at Tech in person of Ibrahim Akpan. He's the senior programs manager, and he'll just share some insight quickly for us as to the video we just saw about DFA. Hi, Ibrahim. Good evening.
Hi, Ore. Hi, everyone. I know I'm the odd one out. Don't worry. I'm just going to give my, take my session and quickly just, run away. I feel a bit okay. I need to put myself together. I'm so excited. Just like Deora had mentioned, we launched the largest data skill program in Africa yesterday, and just being able to listen to the energy in the room was just exciting. And like she also mentioned, this is the second edition. We did this about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And we've been hearing a lot of people that had been part of that program, and even people who missed being part of that particular program, saying, when will you do DFA again? When will you do DFA again? We really want to be part of it. And for us as an organization, we keep looking forward to ways to be able to push the boundaries and ensure that every African has access to digital skill. Like, for example, the Women Techsters Initiatives is currently Africa's largest women-focused program. And now we're launching another program. We're starting in Nigeria, and hopefully within the next few years, we'll be able to expand it to more countries across Africa. So I'm going to be sharing my screen right now. I'm going to provide you with as much information as I can about the program. And if you are not currently following us on our social media platform, this is the time for you to follow us. And if you're not currently in Nigeria, don't worry. If you have a friend in Nigeria, and tell them that they must not miss this, so that by the time we move it to your own country too, you can be able to be part of this. So kindly let me know when you can see my screen. I'm going to be sharing with you just to be like an overview of what the program is all about, and you can be able to maybe ask me a couple of questions. I will be able to pick a couple of them, and can you see my screen yet?
Hi, Bram. We're seeing it just a minute ago, but it went off, so we can't see it now.
Okay, I'm going to try sharing again.
Okay, it's
So,
off now.
okay, so thank you so much. So, like I said earlier on, the Data for All challenges our own our work around in Tech for Devs to be able to ensure that everyone in Africa has access to digital skill. And for the first edition, we did it with Microsoft, and we had two levels. We had the basic level, and we also had the intermediate level. And the learning period just spanned across four learning phases. And we had 4 months of learning phase and we had 1 month of the completion phase. And let me share a secret with you. One of the reasons why we had decided to do this or go through this method to be able to ensure that people do this, and it's because we have discovered that a lot of people start learning and they drop along the way, and usually, oh, I don't have motivation. I started the program because it became a bit serious for us. But we see, for those of us who see, I know that Big Brother Zamzi has started last week, I guess. You see a lot of young people will sign up and want to be able to win. In Nigeria, they actually even increased the prize bucket to over 100 million right now. So people are going and struggling every year. And guess what? Only a couple of people will be able to will be picked inside a particular house to be able to win that particular prize. But for us is, how do we use that incentive model to be able to say, as you learn, you're able to win. So that's why we have here: register, learn, and win. And that's just in those 3 simple steps, you'll be able to be part of the program. For this year, we have a wonderful partner, FCDO. They are currently backing us to be able to ensure that 1 million Nigerians have access to digital skills. And for this year too, we have the basic level and we also have the intermediate level. As against the last time we had just only 4 months of learning phase, just to be able to ensure that a lot of Nigerians have access to this program, we've extended the learning phase to 6 months. So, and 6 months means that you can start as soon as we open up the portal for you to start learning. You get certified, and you also get qualified to the next stage of the process. So it doesn't mean that you have to learn for 6 months. We encourage you, once you start, ensure you actually complete your learning. So in the next, after you complete your learning, what you will have is the competition phase. And the competition phase is actually made up of different levels. We have the state finals, we have the regional finals, and also the national finals. That's just to help us be able to, so for you, if you once you get registered, you pass the cutoff mark, because not just learning gives you an access to move on to the next stage. You have to get to a particular cutoff mark for you to move to the next stage. Once you move to the next stage, we have the state finals, we have the regional finals, and we also now have the national finals. Now, the question is, who is DFA open to? Remember, for you to be able to be part of this program, you have to be Nigerian, and you have to you have to be able to fit into the category that you are actually applying for. We have the K-12 category, we have the youth category, and we also have the civil servant. So I know on this call here today, we have people who are in the youth category, and perhaps you're here, you're a mother, and you have a child, and you're like, okay, I think my child can be part of it, and it will be great for us to even have a mother winning the youth category, maybe for the basic level category, and or the intermediate level category, and perhaps even her child winning the K-12 category. That would be amazing. It's very good to be able to see that the family is actually pushing that. So for you to be able to be part of this, actually at the K-12 level, you have to go to your to the school of your child or school of your brother or your sister, and ensure that they register on the platform for them to be able to deliver this. And for the youth category, you have opportunity to sign up, start learning either at the basic level or at the intermediate level category. Now, if you're here on the call and you're a civil servant, you are also not left out. You can be able to go onto the platform, sign up on your own, and tell your colleagues around you and start learning. So, like I said, we have the learning phase, we have the competition phase, and we have the post-challenge phase. Now, let me go into the crux of the matter. What are the prizes to be won? This is amazing. This is yummy money. For the K-12, you have 10 for the for the first prize is 10 million naira. The second prize is 7.5 million naira, and the third prize is 5 million naira. Wow, that's amazing. And for the civil servants category, we have 10 million naira for the first prize winner, 7.5 million naira for the second prize winner, and also 5 million naira for the third place winner. And in the youth category, we have 15 million naira. And I'm sure if you're a Nigerian here, please give me the thumbs up so I can be able to say that, oh, you know what, I had 50 Nigerians here, I have 100 Nigerians here who will tell their friends to follow Tech for Dev on social media to ensure that you are ready to tell your friends so that they too can be part of this particular program. So for the youth category, we have 15 million naira for the first place winner, 12.5 million naira for the second place winner, and also 10 million naira for the second runner up. And for the youth category basic, we have 10 million naira for the grand prize winner, 10.5 million naira for the first runner up, and 5 million naira for the second runner up. I want to end my presentation by saying to you, do not be left out of this. If you're not following us on our social media platform right now, we are having people join the wait list. We are going to be opening up the portal for learning by 12 noon on the 5th of February, just a couple of days from now. So do not wait. Just go right now. You're not following us on social media platform, so you can get all the necessary information about the program. You can also join the wait list once we release the wait list, so that you can be one of the first persons that get the email from us, just informing you that you are ready to learn. And thank you so much. And if you have any question, I think maybe I can pick one or two questions from the chat and I can answer it. And if you want any other information, you can attend the info sessions that we're going to be having at different points in the program.
Okay, thank you so very much, Abraham, for that session. Thank you so very much. It was quite enlightening. If you have any questions, you could just quickly put them in the Q&A section, just so that it does not get missed out in the chat. You can either put it in Q&A, also in the chat, before Abraham has to run. So now is your time, ladies. If you'd like to know more about DFA, know more about how you can go home with the prize. Now is your time to actually ask one or two questions and we would go. Okay, we can only take one or two questions. Any questions, ladies? Okay. So someone is asking, please register to join the wait list.
How can I register to join the waitlist? So follow us on our social media platform right now. The team is going to be releasing a link for you to actually join the to register to be part of the wait list so that you can be able to get information. And I can see here, can you apply from a different country? No, at the moment, no. No, you cannot apply. It's only for Nigerians. Don't worry. You're part of our Women Texas community, being part of this, being for you attending the program today. So certainly, once we are expanding the scope of the program to your own country, you would also be informed and you get an from us. But for this season of the program, we are only focused on Nigeria.
All right, thank you so very, very much, Abraham, for such an insightful. I can already see someone saying I already followed and turned on post notification on Twitter. That is the right attitude. All right, thank you so very much, Abraham, once again. And I saw some comments about how that my video was lagging, the video I played earlier. So I'd just like to quickly play it again for those who probably did not see it. I'll keep an eye on the chat section just to be sure that it plays. Keep an eye on the chat section just to be sure that it's playing. So I hope you can all see my screen now. I would be playing the video right about now for us all to see. The winner is Sunday.
I'm truly excited to have won the intermediate level for the VFA challenge.
The basic level, first position, Nelson Diagam.
I slept with over 2,000 when I woke up a millionaire to be.
All right, thank you. I hope that, okay, well, so if you still were not able to watch the video, the good news is we posted it on our social media platform. So you could always just check our recent posts on Instagram or anywhere, and then you will be able to see the video. Now, on to the meat of this meeting. Yes, we have all of our guest speakers already on the call who are waiting for us. And we have a success story video that we usually play just to encourage, just show the story of a young woman also in tech who was able to start out her career. And I'd just like to quickly share that with us, after which we'll bring all of our guest speakers we'll bring all of our guest speakers on, and then they can share from their wealth of knowledge. So just give me a minute. Okay. Please just give me a moment. Let me see if I can bring this up. Okay. All right.
My name is Fatima Ahmed. I'm from Ilorin, Kwara State. I studied chemistry from the University of Ilorin, but now I'm a woman in tech. Getting a job in Nigeria is very difficult. After my National Youth Service program, I was at home for like 5 to 6 months, writing CVs, applying for jobs, and the highest I got was callbacks, which was very frustrating. I was talking to a friend about the difficulties of getting a job in Nigeria, and he was telling me about the opportunities in tech. Coincidentally, at that time, another friend of mine was telling me about how she went to the Nigerian Women Techsters program, where she learned how to code and build websites. Seeing what she could do, I was motivated to apply for the Nigerian Women Techsters program. The training was for 12 weeks. I learned technical skills, building websites, writing codes. I also learned soft skills, communicating effectively, working in teams. It made me more effective in what I do today. Coming for the training, I just felt that, okay, I'll just learn some new skills, then have to go back home to apply for other jobs. But during the training, I started getting a lot of job opportunities, and here I am today. I have a good job, and I am glad I took the bold step to come for the Nigerian Texas training. I currently work as a technical support engineer at Tech Experts, where I provide cloud-based solutions. I want to use this opportunity to encourage other young women out there who are looking for jobs to empower themselves with tech skills and take advantage of opportunities like this.
With partners like Microsoft, we've been able to train over 2,475 women in coding and deep tech skills across 12 states in Nigeria. And all this training was done for free. Over the next 10 years, we will train 5 million women across Africa by 2030. And we're looking for partners who could join us on this journey.
My name is Fatima.
Right, I trust that we're able to see that video more clearly. I would just like to quickly introduce all of our guest speakers who are on the call now. Just reading their bio, and then I would introduce them. All right. So I would start with Norma. Norma serves as the group tech manager for information and cybersecurity and technology risk at MTN, bringing forth a world of expertise cultivated over 8 years within the financial services and telecommunication sector. Her professional background encompasses an expansive spectrum of competencies and roles within the information technology, IT, including information and cybersecurity, security design, audit, and risk management. Beyond her expertise, Norma Nontenja is deeply passionate about inspiring others as a means of fostering hope, and she utilizes Toastmasters International as a hope cultivating platform. Hi, Norma.
Hi, Orelua. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Ladies on the chat, you could just say hi to Norma. We would like to, see your excitement. Yes. Okay, so I'll just quickly go over to our second speaker, Yasmin. Yasmin Paik is a highly accomplished professional renowned for her expertise in data management, digital transformation, and invaluable contributions to the financial sector. With a proven track record of spearheading transformative projects and a visionary approach to leveraging data for business growth, Yasmin has left a lasting impact on her professional journey. Working in renowned institutions such as Deloitte, Sanlam, and Bank of Africa, Yasmin gained robust experience leading projects of strategic significance with a focus on data transformation and harnessing power of data for strategic decision making, thus successfully ensuring effective management and utilization of data assets to drive organizational value. Building on her extensive experience and expertise, Yasmin ventured into entrepreneurship, founding FY Consulting, specializing in digital transformation. Additionally, she co-founded Factualist, a consultancy firm focused on data management. In 2022, she was honored as one of the top 100 leaders worldwide who have harnessed the full potential of data to drive business growth by Hot Topics and One Disco. In 2023, she received the prestigious Phoenix Conference. She received the prestigious Phoenix Conference and Awards in Dubai, acknowledging her as a leader in finance for her remarkable contributions to the sector. Hi, Yasmin.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm delighted to be here and extend my gratitude for the invitation. Looking forward to sharing insights and engaging in meaningful discussions.
Thank you so very much, Yasmin, for that. And to our third speaker of the day, Oluwashito. Olashito is a self-taught designer who began her career as an architect, but she is now happily immersed in the world of design. Over the past 4 years at Spacestack, she has not only designed posters, merch, and websites, she has also acted as product and project manager on impactful initiatives and mentored colleagues. When she's not working, she's likely obsessing over indigenous fashion brands, reading African fiction, or visiting art galleries. Hi, Oluwashito. Looks like you and I have quite a lot in common.
Hi. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much for honoring our invite, and to our wonderful moderator, Temitope. Temitope Olowokere is a product manager whose life goal is to tell inspiring stories while building great products that solve users' problems and ultimately delight them. She currently works at Alert by where she oversees the product development lifecycle of the financial solutions that impact how people interact with money. Before pivoting into products, she works as a marketing and communications specialist, helping brands communicate their values in the simplest ways possible. When Timtoko is not wearing the hat of a product manager, she makes music, reads African literature, and makes her friends and families laugh, among other things. Hi, Timtoko.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone.
Right.
Such a yeah.
Awesome. Thank you all so very much for accepting our invite. We are ready, so I'll just pass the baton over to Temitope, and then we can go into the moderated fireside chat. Over to you, Temitope.
Thank you very much once again, Aureolua. Good evening, everyone. I know some people might be tuned in from different parts of the world, but where I am is currently evening. So good evening, everyone. I hope you've had a lovely day. Once again, it's such a privilege to be here. I find it an honor to moderate a panel of amazing young women like this. I went through your bios and I was blown away. So yeah, great one. So we'll get into it as quickly as possible. I think we have about 1 hour for the panel, right? So we'll do our best to stick to time. I have a couple of questions for the panelists. Let's give it 4 minutes for every question we ask. So let's keep time in mind so we don't keep people waiting on the call. So we'll get right into it, and I'll be starting with you, Oluwasito. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Please, can you tell me how it's pronounced?
Sheto, but Sheto is fine.
Oh, so Sheto. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I read your bio and I was very interested to know that you're currently a brand designer. I know that in tech at the moment, product designers seem to be the rave, but I was quite, impressed to see that a brand designer, is considered to be in tech, right? And I'm looking forward to hearing your story. So my first question for you is, growing up as a young girl in Nigeria, what inspired you to study a STEM degree? I know that you have a degree in architecture, if I'm correct, right? So what inspired that decision? And as that decision to study architecture, was it in any way inspirational into your journey into tech as well? So yeah, first question. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So unfortunately, my story to studying STEM is not very interesting. I wanted to study medicine, but that didn't work out because between my parents and I, it didn't work out quite how we planned it. So I chose to study architecture because by method of selection, it seemed like the STEM course that I would not fail at. Because engineering was going to be a problem because of further math. I couldn't do an arts course because it involved a lot of essay writing, and I wasn't down for that. And architecture seemed straightforward because I had done technical drawing while I was in secondary school. So I applied for that and I got it. But how did I enter? So I think in my third year, so in my university, we used to do something called College Week. And at some point, I was selected to be one of the persons on the committee for College Week, and I got a chance to design there. But before then, I had needed my friend's help with some work with my assignment, like design studio. And he was a graphic designer, but I wasn't, and he didn't have my time. So I was like, oh, how hard could this be? So I just did the work and I sent it to him, and he was like, oh, this is fine. Just change this, change that, change that. So that was literally how I found myself in design. So college week came, led the committee, did a bunch of posters that I hate them now, but they were really nice then. And then finished school. I was waiting to go for my masters, but I was putting my work on the internet, on Twitter, which really helped me at the beginning of my career. I'm not going to lie, and it's like a bunch of people saw it, and one of the people that saw it, he texted me to give me feedback on the work, and from then on, every single time I posted something, I would send to him private, and he'll give feedback. And then one of those days, I was like, oh, that my agency is hiring for an intern. Will you be interested? Yeah, why not? So I had the privilege of not needing money then because I was living with my parents. They were covering transportation and feeding, so I could take the chance to get like a proper intern role. And I was waiting to go for my masters, so I took the job and I learned a lot. Learned motion design, learned communication design and design for like ads and agencies and all of that. And I went for my masters. So while I was doing my masters in architecture, I already knew that I wasn't going to practice. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So then I started teaching myself product design during my free time, thanks to LinkedIn Learning. And I did a bunch of product design side gigs. But at the same time, to make extra money, I was still working, doing brand work or like graphic design work with my friends that had agencies, like freelance work. So I came back to, so that was literally how I found myself moving from architecture to tech. So it just kind of happened just by, I think it was mostly like serendipity, right place at the right time, and like resources and all of that. So that was literally how I found myself in tech.
Very interesting story. I have one quick question. So what motivated you to say I want to do brand design instead of product design? What was the motivation?
Honestly, it was so at first I started brand and then I went into product because I felt like that's what everybody was doing then. But there was when I was job hunting, I could like was an either or situation, right? Like I could do product, I could do brand, but it had to be the right place. So because at the beginning of my career, I was really, really picky about where I was going to work. It had to be a place that had seniors that I could learn from and a great environment. And once again, because of the privilege of living at home, didn't need extra money, I could take my time to do that. So I started working as a product designer, but I was literally in the company. I was a one-man design team, so I was doing every single thing. And I had interviewed at Paystack previously as a brand designer because that was what I wanted to do, right? But like I didn't get the job. So once they said, "Oh yeah, like you can, like we're ready to give you a job as a brand designer," I was like, "Yeah, I would do that." So I think the motivation, honestly, was like it was where I got. It was a thing where it was where I had people that were willing to invest the time for me to learn and be the best at what I could do because I knew my style of learning. My style of learning, while like courses are really good and everything, I knew that I needed a place that would actually be a catalyst for me to learn fast, like being thrown into the deep end, doing the work and getting feedback from people that are better than I was, as opposed to like learning on internet and going somewhere where like I wasn't getting feedback as fast as I was going to get. And honestly, I feel like that like bet on myself and on the place I was going to has paid off because like career growth and like learning and everything in the past like 4 years that I took the chance of like starting over as a brand designer at Paystack has really helped because it was the environment and the feedback and the growth and the support from like people that are better than me was literally all I imagined and more. So that was honestly, it was just me. Like I think it was honestly a lot of like science in retrospect, a lot of like science and maths to it, like knowing what I wanted at that point in time and being very bullish on getting what I wanted out of my career at that point in time.
Thank you very much for that. So if there's anything you can take out of everything that Aureolua has said is that you need to be clear on exactly what you want and going forward. Thank you very much, Aure. I'm moving over to Norma. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So Norma, my first question for you is, so you hold a bachelor's degree in commerce, and then today you are a cybersecurity expert. I'm always thrilled to see people move from, a background that doesn't seem to be related to what you're doing now. For instance, I studied English and I'm currently a product manager. A lot of people ask me how that happened. So I'm curious, how did you go from commerce to cybersecurity?
Thank you so much, Tammy. I always get this question quite a lot, and I must say, I was so fortunate that I actually got to do this Bachelor of Commerce degree, and I didn't know that I was fortunate until I had to start my corporate journey with Standard Bank. So ideally, I was not 100% sure what I wanted to do, how I wanted my career to unfold, to be honest. But I kind of had an idea that I wanted to do something with accounting. But even with that, I only chose accounting simply because at the time, everyone was just following accounting. And I did accounting as one of my subjects at school. So it can only make sense for me to follow that path. But when I got to the institution, to university, I was so fortunate enough that there was a guy who was actually assisting us before we actually register. And then I kind of told him that, look, I'm not quite sure what career I want to follow, but I think I have an idea. Then that's where he actually introduced that there's a BCom general within the institution, and I still meet the requirements. And the degree itself, which was a well-rounded degree because it included almost everything when I think about it. It had economics in it, it had accounting, it had information systems, it had quite a number of things. But something interesting happened. Even though I kind of came to the university thinking that I was there for accounting, information system caught my attention. Besides the fact that I was passing it well, but it kind of introduced me to the world that I never thought existed, because in high school I did computer application technology, which was just basic computer knowledge when it comes to information systems. And then I knew there and there that in my second year, I will definitely be following information systems until I graduated, and the rest is history. And then from the transition part to cybersecurity, to be honest, I didn't transition. There was no module at all in the university that had anything to do with cybersecurity. I didn't even know that cybersecurity existed as a career. But when I joined the Standard Bank graduate program in 2015, we were so fortunate enough that we got to network with the senior management of the organization. And during that social networking program that was organized for us, one of the guys that I met, who was the head of architecture at the time, he was asking me, okay, have you identified anything that you want to pursue or follow within the organization? And then I was like, maybe I want to be a project manager. I want to be a business analyst, because those were the top careers that were introduced for us in university for information systems. And then he said to me, no, man, we already have business analysts. We already have enough project managers. Do things where we still need more resources in. And then he introduced me like into architecture and cybersecurity. And then it was like, I can even introduce you now to the head of cybersecurity. Then you can take it from there. And I was introduced to the head of cybersecurity, and the guy was keen to take me with zero experience in cybersecurity. And the rest is history. I guess cybersecurity fell on my lap.
That's very interesting. I feel like there are very few people who have, some people just see them and just believe that, oh, there's something that you have to offer, take them under their wings and then just allow them room to fly. Very lucky you. So first question for you, Yasmin. I read your bio and I was a little intimidated. Because you seem to have done a lot of great stuff for yourself. I know, right? I mean, I was a little intimidated. So first question for you. Can you take us down memory lane? What was your first encounter with computers? I know that you're into data management, data analysis, but what was your first introduction into computers? What was your first introduction into tech? What was the first point of call? Who were your first, were there women that you could look up to at the time you decided you wanted to go into tech? Let's hear about that.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So the journey, or I mean, the story started during the years of 2000. During my high school years, I encountered computers for the first time while conducting research for science classes. Internet access wasn't widespread, so I had to visit cyber cafes, which were quite a distance from home. Despite the challenges, witnessing the year 2000 bug era fueled my fascination with technology. The enthusiasm around computers during that time motivated me to pursue a career in tech industry. I attended an engineering school where I learned the coding, algorithmic principles, and more. While growing up, I didn't have many female role models in tech, but the tech fervor during the year 2000 bug period inspired me to carve my path in the field.
Very interesting, very interesting. I imagine or assume that there were not a lot of examples back in the day. So seeing that you've done so much for yourself, regardless of the fact that there were very few people to learn from, especially women, because I believe that there's something about women seeing other women doing great stuff and seeing that there were not a lot of examples, but here you are today. I think that is very, very, very inspiring. So my next question is for you, Norma. So I'd like to know what peculiar challenges have you faced as a cybersecurity expert, and how were you able to overcome some of these challenges? Another question is, so I want you to answer all of this in a breath so that we don't spend too much time here. What technical skills do you think are necessary for women who are looking to go into cybersecurity today? So a recap of the question: what challenges did you face? When you made that jump to go into cybersecurity, how were you able to overcome them? And then what skills do you think any woman going into cybersecurity today has to have? So over to you, Norma.
Okay. So one of the challenges I faced, like I said earlier, I didn't have any knowledge when it comes to cybersecurity. It's not something that I studied at school because we didn't have a subject related to cyber. So it was knowledge. Number one, I struggled a lot, basic understanding of cybersecurity. But I was so fortunate to be on the team that I was in. The fact that they were able to take me to trainings, basic training like Secure Plus 101, I think they call it Security 101. I was able to attend some conferences just for me to get me up and running within the career. And one of the biggest one that I faced, cybersecurity is a male-dominated career or industry, right? And you come in, you're a female, you don't even know what the cybersecurity is all about, right? And you work in corporate for this big organization. So for me, I always felt intimidated by male because number one, I knew that I lacked knowledge. I felt inferior when it was time for me to actually give input, and that's one of the reasons I opted to join Toastmasters to gain that self-confidence, which has helped me quite a lot in terms of my communication and public speaking as well. And you actually get the experience by doing, because that's how I actually learned cybersecurity. And the more I did it, the more confidence I actually had and start believing in myself, speaking up when there's things that needs to be said, So it was mainly the training I received from the organization and also watching YouTube. I do want to say this, let's not sleep on YouTube. YouTube is actually an institution on its own. It's a university. Everything is there. So that self-learning that Oluseto was actually referring to, it helped me quite a lot, because when you're expected to deliver while you know that you lack knowledge, you become under pressure. So for me, it was training, Toastmasters for confidence, as well as YouTube to get myself up to speed. And then to answer the second question, when it comes to the technical skill, networking, I cannot emphasize this more than enough, because it's a skill that I actually lacked myself, just to understand how the protocols of the network actually works, the routing and everything. So it will be networking. And then also the proficiency when it comes to the operating systems, be it Ubuntu, be it Windows, be it Linux, they play a huge role when it comes to cybersecurity. And now lately, we are talking about this buzzword, secure by design. So to understand the secure coding principles and understanding how can we actually secure the products that we build. I heard someone is actually a web designer where they build apps and everything. So when it comes to security, that's our role to ensure that when that website is being built, is it built with a security in mind, like with security features? So that has taken quite a spark in terms of increasing, and also when it comes to careers. And the last one in terms of skills is communication as well as confidence, right? And I think it's something that most technical individuals lack the most within in corporate, because you can be this strong in your technical area as a specialist, but if you can't communicate, you are dead and down in corporate. So I can't emphasize that one enough, that it's good and well to be a technically strong person, but communication for you to be able to articulate your technical skills, it's very important. Thank you, Tammy. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Norma. So just to emphasize, it is important that you give yourself to learning. Like she said, YouTube is an institution on its own. So don't wait up until someone is there to handhold you. There's YouTube, there's LinkedIn, there's Udemy, there's Coursera, there are a whole lot of platforms. There's Tech for Dev as well, where you can learn from. So don't wait until somebody feeds you. Get on these platforms and learn. And also, as a professional, it is important that you know how to communicate. You have to be confident in your ability, and you need to communicate that confidence as well to be successful in your career as a tech person. So next question is for you, Yasmin. So I'd like to know, can you tell us a little about the work that you do? I know that it might be a bit difficult to articulate all of the things that you do, right? But can you tell us a little bit about the work that you do with data management and how that relates to data analysis? And what technical skills would you also recommend for beginners as well?
Yeah, well, in my work with data management, I focus on optimizing the way business handle and leverage their data. This involves organizing, storing, and ensuring the quality of data to facilitate effective analysis. Data management is the foundation for successful data analysis, as clean as well-organized data sets are essential for deriving meaningful insights. For beginners entering the field of data analysis, I recommend developing a strong foundation in key technical skills. Proficiency in programming languages such as Python or R is crucial, along with a solid understanding of statistical concepts. Familiarity with data visualization tools like Tableau or Power BI can enhance the ability to communicate insights effectively. Additionally, gaining expertise in SQL for database querying and manipulation is highly valuable. Continuous learning also and staying updated on industry trends are essential for success in this dynamic field.
Thank you very much for that, Yasmin. So if you are a data enthusiast, that's just like a simple takeoff. Learn data programming languages, learn how to use data visualization tools. If you don't know how to do these things, you basically don't know how to do the job, and nobody's going to hire you for that. So please take time out. Like we said earlier, there are platforms available that you can use to learn. Don't sleep on yourself, like we say in Nigeria. Don't sleep on yourself. Don't wait for anybody to wait to teach you. Make use of all of these resources. My next question is for you, Oluwa. Sorry, my next question is for you, Shito. You told me to call you Shito, so I'll call you that instead. So I'd like to know, what does a day in the life of a brand designer at Paystack? What does that look like? Paystack is like one of the biggest financial technology companies out of Lagos, Nigeria. And personally, I'm curious to know what your day looks like working at Paystack. So can you just run us through what that is like?
Yeah, sure. I currently lead the design studio team, which is a team of brand designers, illustrators, and web designers. And we serve the whole company. We help with editorial assets. So like if we're launching a product, we will typically help with like the rollout. So if we're doing stuff for the for our Instagram pages, for our Twitter, or like a launch video, that kind of thing. That's something we'll help out with. If you see a billboard, we'll help with that. So for the apps as well, there's like really cool illustrations or icons. That's kind of thing that we do. So we serve the whole company. So a day in my life, it actually depends on the day. So let's say Monday. So Monday would typically start with, let's say, work this. So there's like waking up early to go to the gym and all of that. When I'm back, I would typically settle into the day and kind of plan my day. So and then prep for stand up. So stand up is by 11:30, where we typically just run through how everyone's tasks are going. So we go through like what's happening. Are you blocked? If you're blocked, how can we unblock you? Settle your task and all of that. So that's within my design studio team. So after stand up, we would have other meetings with like external stakeholders just to keep them abreast of the things that they requested from my team. Because remember that people send a request for us to design like comes for them. So we'll typically like have that to follow up with stakeholders. And after that, then there's times where depending on the day, I'm like maybe following up on a brief or like tag teaming with with a teammate on like we're doing like a co-work thing to kind of bang out the design solutions to something that we're struggling with. It could be like a feedback session, it could be design crate, and there's always like sections of like focused work where I'm just trying to like get into, because apart from like leading a team, I'm also an independent contributors, which means that I have my own tasks that I need to deliver on every single day. So that's kind of thing. And then there's depending on the days, we could have like all hands, have one-on-ones, and because my team, we are really like, it's really important to the larger design team, that's product designers and like web brands, illustrators, to kind of just like maintain unity and synergy. So there's days when we have like design all hands, happens every other week. We have like design book clubs, just encourage us to like read together, because I don't know if it happens to you guys, but sometimes when you get deep into work, you kind of struggle to like keep up with like reading literature that helps you to develop your craft. So like the book club kind of helps everyone to just stay together. So we would pick a design related or UX book, read it, and then discuss it every other week. And we have like design banter. We just like talk about everything except work, just kind of decompress so that like, because you find that as a team, when you guys kind of have not, obviously you don't have to be friends with your teammates, but it just helps to have like common ground aside from work, because it just helps to build rapport to an extent, especially when it's a small team of like remote people. Because for example, our design team has people in Kenya, has people in South Africa, has people in Canada, has people in Dubai, and all of that. So it just helps for you to like just stay together as a team when you have frequent check-ins with each other. And then yeah, so after focused work or like meetings, whatever, I like close for the day. Try to close by like 5 or 5:30. That's what a day in my life looks like as a brand designer pacer.
That's pretty interesting. I particularly love the bit about having a book club at work. I think I'll take pointers for my team. Um, so quick one, Ore. Sorry, I called you Ore just now. Quick one, Shito. Can you just quickly run us through some technical skills you think brand designers might need to have, and some tools that they might need to learn how to use just to ensure that they do good work?
Yeah, sure. So I think that you should be able to, your biggest tool should ideally be pen and paper, honestly.
Yeah.
But I know that with like advent of technology, like you could do like a cheeky iPad and like Apple Pencil or something. But I typically have something that you're going to sketch with, because I think that one of the fastest ways to not do your greatest work is rushing to your computer. So you should always like have pen and paper or something to sketch on before you proceed to do work. So there's pen and paper as a tool, and then you have like on like technology schools, you have like the Adobe suite, particularly Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, those two. And then if you're interested in layouts, that's like maybe designing for like publishing or like a magazine or that kind of thing, Adobe InDesign is a really good layout tool. And then if you're interested in like motion graphics or like videos, it'd be nice to use Adobe After Effects and then Adobe Media for that, to tag to like export your videos and make them like the right size for your different uses. And then there's also Premiere Pro. If you do want to do like deep video editing, that's like maybe you're overlaying, like maybe there's like already a recorded video with like humans in it, and you want to like pull like maybe lower thirds, like entrance animation or like names and all of that. So those are like tools. And there's also Figma. Nowadays designers are beginning to actually use Figma, because it's really easy, to be honest. You don't need to have your own like computer. As long as you have an account, you can literally use Figma anywhere. And it's really fast. Like auto layout is amazing for even like when you're trying to do like social media assets or just like a regular poster, obviously I do not recommend Figma for print because it doesn't handle colors properly. So ideally for print, for a brand designer, your colors should be exported in CMYK. But Figma doesn't quite have that because it's originally created for you to create prototypes and web designs in. And then for your technical skills, I would say that you have like at least be able to sketch and just draw, because it's always nice to be able to like kind of visualize your ideas. You need to have good knowledge of color theory, colors, like what colors go well together, what colors, like how do colors make people feel, color psychology. Because for example, I don't know if you've noticed, but you see a lot of fintechs tend to use like blue, cool shades of blue and all that, because like there's something about blue that just makes you like feel trust. Same way, like you have like maybe fast food restaurants doing like a cheeky yellow or red or orange, just because those colors kind of make you feel hungry. So it's quite important for you to understand, like, you know, your colors, color psychology. But then with colors on the other end, you need to know about accessibility. With the way the world is turning to now, there's a lot of knowledge for you to actually be caught lacking. So accessibility is like, okay, so I want to, the colors I've chosen are red and yellow. But like, how do these shades actually look for people that have color blindness? How does it look for people that do not have the best eyesight? How does it look for people that do not have fast internet? How does this graphic look for people that maybe their phones are not the most advanced? So like, it's just about empathy, to be honest, just knowing who you're designing for, kind of designing for that. So accessibility is really, really important. Then you need to know knowledge about typography. So like, what kind of what is typography? Like, how do you set type in a particular context? Do you like, what kind of type do you have to, like, is it sans serif or a serif? What do you want to use it for? And all of that. You need to know like the different elements in it, like you need to know about your leading, your line space, your paragraph space, and how to utilize those things properly. Then you need to have really great knowledge of grids. When do you break them? When do you use them? When do you stick to them? Because grids just add a level of finesse in your design. Like, if you can use grids well, it's just always look like you know what you're doing, to be honest. So just like knowing like the basics of all these things, knowing grids, and then obviously I just like shapes and learning how to use your tools well, beyond like knowing the fundamentals of design. I feel like for designers starting out, I understand people are always rushing to make your first prototype, making your first design, but it's extremely underrated taking your time to learn the fundamentals, because when you know the rules, you can break them and make the greatest work ever. But if you don't take the time to know the rules to break them, you just end up doing things that you cannot justify. Because it's always very important for you to be able to justify whatever you're doing. Because okay, you've designed something, is it fit for use? Is it accessible? Does it actually fit the context that it was created for? You just design something for your ego. Like, designers fall into that trap often because like you have this trap of creating something out of something that doesn't exist. But every single time, I need to step back. Okay, there was a brief. It was requested for a purpose. If someone that is not a designer, someone that doesn't have a knowledge of the kind of work you've put into, comes to look at it, can they pick what they're meant to pick from this piece that you designed, like this website, this poster? Like, if you design a poster, it's meant to talk about the date of an event, location, the dress code, and then you design something fancy, but people cannot see it and pick out the information. They're still asking in the Instagram comments, oh, please, where is the event located? What time is the event? Bro, you've designed something beautiful, but it's not functional. So I think that it's really important to know that as well as a designer. And then I think that once you know the fundamentals, you can now begin to kind of like learn how to use the tools, like drawing your curves and knowing like shapes and alignment and all of those things in the tools. And then I also forgot that spacing is another important thing to know, like just in general principles of design. I think that those are some of the things, like technical skills. To be honest, these are things for like a generalist point of view. But I guess that as you begin to specialize and say what you want to do, for example, as an illustrator, your technical skills might begin to be deeper into a particular direction as you begin to evolve and decide what your style is. So are you trying to get better at like realism, or is it like a whole like illustration, like deep illustration thing, where you are developing a style that is more cartoony and is not really meant to pay homage to real life? Or for example, you want to become a motion graphics person, like an animator. You need to take your time to learn the 12 principles of animation according to Disney. Just like, I feel like, honestly, start at the basics, the technical skill at the basics. But as you begin to take your time to learn things and enjoy as a brand designer, you begin to figure out, okay, this is what I want to specialize in, and these are the skills that I want to actually pay more attention to as I grow and as I perfect my craft. So from my perspective, I think that honestly, obviously, and then I don't know if I mentioned soft skills. I don't know if you asked for soft skills, to be honest. But yeah.
That's fine. Fine.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
very much. That was a whole lot to unpack. So just to run through everything that Shito has said. One, know your basics. As a designer, know your basics. Two, design with empathy in mind. Design with your users in mind. And number three, don't be too quick to get on your device, to get on your computer, on your iPad. Use your paper, use your biro. So next question is for you, Norma. I'd like to know, how would you describe the work that you do at South Africa? And what would you say is the best thing about working as a cybersecurity expert?
So currently my role, I'm the technology and cyber risk manager within MTN Group FinTech. And my role ideally is to mitigate the risks that are there pertaining to cyber risk or technology. As an example, if there's any app or there's any product that is being built by the organization, which is externally facing, it is my role to actually identify any potential risk that stems to that for any level of compromise that the product can be compromised in a way. So ideally, it's me looking at the risk so that we can actually protect the product itself. And what I love the most about being in the cybersecurity space, number one, is the fact that cybersecurity is an ever-moving train. It's evolving by day. Today, we can have various vulnerabilities. Tomorrow, there's new vulnerabilities. So it's a constant moving train, which actually means that every day I need to actually make sure that I upskill myself based on how the world is moving digitally and based on how we can actually catch up with the hackers and the fraudsters in a way. And the fact that it's a scarce skill, I think that's one thing I love about cybersecurity. It's a scarce skill, which means I will forever be in demand, right? And they also have competitive salaries when it comes to cybersecurity. And the fact that I can be able to add value in a sense that to protect the systems that our end users are currently using, because you might see the end product, whether you are using an app or you are buying an airtime and all of that, but there's someone behind that to ensure that while you are buying the electricity, you are buying the airtime, you are actually doing all that processing in a secure manner. And that is my role. And it's interesting like that because each and every day the technology is changing. We are introducing new things, new parts, so which means it will forever be changing. Who would have thought that today we will have tablets or we'll have mobile phones, because 20 years ago we didn't have that. And by us evolving when it comes to technology, we also need to keep up with our security. And that's what I love about my job, that it's ever changing, new challenges every day.
Very interesting. So key takeaway, if you are looking to go into cybersecurity, this means that you have to be on your toes. You have to be ready to learn and unlearn and relearn as new technologies and new measures. My next question is for you, Yasmin. I would like to know, did you picture or did you think that you would ever become a founder or a co-founder? I know that you currently run a startup. Did you think that you would ever become a co-founder? Have you ever pictured it? And what do you think are the skills or what are the skills or what are the things that have gotten you to where you are right now? What are the things that have helped you gain ground and helped you to do the work that you have done up until now?
Yeah, thank you for this question. So transitioning from my role as a computer engineer, I gained valuable experience in project management within the bank insurance sector, specializing in data expertise. I also ventured into consulting, establishing the data practice at Deloitte in Morocco. And over 16 years as an employee, I found myself dedicating a significant portion of my time to navigating corporate politics and adapting to various company cultures. In early 2022, I made the decision to embark on my entrepreneurial journey, leveraging my rare expertise in data management, because it was really very important for me to be on service, to use my knowledge, to use my expertise to bring service to the companies. This move allows me to provide services that empower businesses to thrive and grow by utilizing data as a catalyst for their development.
Very interesting. Thank you very much for that, Yasmin. I have a follow-up question. Give me a second. Okay, so I'd like to know what your experience has been like, and I'd like you to give us maybe examples. What has your experience been like as a co-founder, as a C-suite executive in a male-dominated field, right? Because to a very large extent, tech is still a male-dominated field. Data is still a male-dominated field. So what has your experience been as a top leader, as a woman, as a female? What are some of the things that get on your nerves? What are some of the things you enjoy? Would really like to hear that.
Yeah, so as a chief data officer during my previous experiences, navigating a male-dominated industry presented its challenges. While I have encountered instances of subtle biases and discrimination, I choose to approach them with resilience and competence by consistently showcasing my expertise and delivering tangible results. I gained the respect and recognition, building a strong professional network, both within and outside the organization, also proved valuable in overcoming challenges. Additionally, fostering open communication and advocating for diversity and inclusion became integral in breaking down barriers. Ultimately, my focus on performance and a collaborative approach helped shape a positive and inclusive environment within the organization.
Thank you very much for that. So one big takeaway from what Yasmin has said is just do valuable work. The best way to prove yourself as a woman in a male-dominated field is to do the work. Don't just sit pretty. There's no pretty privilege at work. Just get the work done. Get the work done. So keep that in mind. My next question is for you, Noma. I'd like to know how you combine your role as a cybersecurity specialist with every other thing that's going on in your life. I don't know. I don't know if you're a wife or if you're a mother, but I'm sure you're somebody's daughter, you're somebody's aunt. So how do you combine all of this with the demands of being a cybersecurity specialist?
I am a wife, I am a mom, and I'm a daughter. I must say that before the career path that I'm in now, it has been tough to actually find that balance, right? Because if you are technically hands-on, sometimes you're expected to work like in the early hours of the night. Sometimes there's an incident that has happened, you are called into a call. So it has not been an easy journey. But with the space that I'm in right now, I can safely say I'm getting there. I'm not 100% sure, but to answer your question, open communication has been crucial in our family, and it's not 100%. I'm still working on it. That open communication to let my husband or my family know that, look, guys, I will be working late. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 things that I need to finish before this end of day. So that he can actually come in other parts I may not be able to come in for that support. So for me, also flexibility to know that sometimes things, they don't go according to how you have planned them, right? I don't plan to have an incident during the early hours of the night, but to actually trust that the organization trusts me, that I will be able to bring value and solve whatever the issue they have. So for me, it's that flexibility and open communication, because at the end of the day, you are a mom, you are a wife before you are a corporate woman. If your family is not happy, then what's the point of you even working, you know? So open communication, being flexible, work wonders for me.
Thank you very much for that. So open communication, being flexible with your family, with your I mean, basically, I look forward to being a mom someday. I look forward to being a wife. So I'm sure I can take pointers from all of the things you've said. Thank you very much for that. My next question is for you, Oluwashito. What would you say is the best part of being a brand designer? Yeah, and what other soft skills? I did not mention this question about soft skills the other time, so maybe you could just touch on that. So, what soft skills you think is necessary for a brand designer? And what's the best part of being a brand designer? This is your opportunity to toast people who are looking to get into design. I need you to steal some potential product designer. I need you to steal them into brand designer. So, sell us brand design, Shito. I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I think that the best part about being a brand designer is that you can do anything, right? Because almost every single thing is a form of graphic design. So, like, if you approach a website as a poster or like, yeah, I think that that's the thing. Like, it's a joke that we have on my team. Like, you can always tell when a UI or a product designer has designed a poster because there's just this thing about it, right? But the same way when a brand designer approaches a website, because you're thinking from the side of like posters and visual communication, it feels like the possibilities are endless. Obviously, you have to think about like the technical part of it, but because you are just focused on like, oh my god, how can I actually like do like make it such a compelling piece of work, that kind of just helps you bring out your best possible work, right? But then I think that another thing is that it's just the fact that you get to breathe life into a lot of things. You help people communicate better. Like it's literally visual communication. Like just think of the fact that some of the most iconic movies and the fact that their posters or like their banners are some of the things that you remember from it, or some of your favorite TV, like from some of your like posters, your favorite billboards, or like posters, and the fact that it was you, or even the fact that some of your favorite brands, right? Like the Nike logo was done by a brand designer. The like Citibank logo was done by a brand designer. Coca-Cola was done by a brand. So imagine the fact that you're able to create something that is so enduring and iconic that for years to come, people will keep looking at it and looking back at it. And you basically shape you. It's like giving birth. Is you shape what people imagine as something. Because, for example, you get a brand and you speak to the founder like, "Oh my God, what do you want?" And tell the person that you want to be energetic. They want it to draw people. You want it to be a family friendly brand, and you just take all of those and make it into something. So I feel like it's level of narcissism in it. You literally get to create something out of people's words or people's imaginations and ideas, and you bring them to life. And I feel like that's a flex, to be honest. So I think that's one of the best things about it. And another thing is the fact that once you just do something successful, just believe that you can do anything. It happens to us at work where they bring a brief and we execute it well, and they just keep coming to us with crazy ideas. So I think that's one of the best part about being a brand designer. Um, Soft skills, I think that Norma actually did a good job on them already, but you need to really learn how to communicate clearly with people. Like ensure that like when you guys have spoken, you have preempted all the questions possible so there's no room for misunderstanding, either in the brief or in deliverables or in what is expected of you or what they want people to see. So like ask questions, like ask a lot of questions, right? Another thing is documentation, which is a very important thing, especially if you're going to be working on a team. You need to write things such a way that if you're not available to answer questions about what you've written, can someone pick up what you've done and work with it again? Right? That's another thing. Another thing is and also part of documentation, just like leaving your work in such a way that whoever picks up later, like your files, they can actually just be a very clean person about your files and the way you handle them. Like, okay, your Figma file or your Illustrator file, have you named your layers properly? Like just etiquette, like work etiquette, right? That's another thing that is really important. And I think that presentation skills are very important because there'll be times where you have an idea and you execute it, but it's not quite what maybe corporate or what the requesters wanted. So are you able to actually like explain to them properly so they can see your point of view and they understand what exactly you want, like what exactly you're trying to achieve in that instance, right? And then I think that this is not a brand design soft skill, but I think that generally as a woman in tech, you need to be your biggest advocate. You need to learn how to be visible, how to like you need to just learn how because obviously you expect that your manager will fight for you to get promoted and all of that, but ultimately nobody cares about you like you. So like how are you putting your best foot forward, your best face forward to people that kind of matter in the organization? Like, are you trying to, like, are you picking up work that matters? Are you like sharing new ideas? Like, how's your documentation? Like, do you have a doc? I always advise that you have a document where you're writing things. Like, something I do for myself every single day. By like 4:30 p.m., I'll just write one thing that I accomplished that day. It could be something really nice that I shipped. It could be feedback that somebody gave me on the work idea. I could just take a screenshot of that Slack message and put in a document so that, like, when it's time for like review season, when it's promotions time, I can actually defend all the work I have done. And it also just helps in confidence, because there's statistics about how women tend not to, like, the chances of a woman applying for a job when she meets 50%, 70% of the requirements, less than when a man apply. Men just always do things, but like, you need to literally learn how to move with the audacity of a straight white man, as people like to say. So I think that those are some of the soft skills. Yeah.
Thank you very, very, very much. That was very insightful. So we're moving over to the final round of questions, and I hope that our audience has been with us all through. I hope that we've not just bored you. I hope you're not sleeping. I hope you've not walked away from your device. I hope you've learned a lot from this session. We're going to be wrapping up very soon, so please just bear with us, stay with us. So final question for you, Yasmin. I'd like to know, what other advice or closing remarks do you have for young ladies and women in this meeting who are about to start their journey in tech? Final words for them.
Yeah, so for the young ladies and women embarking on their tech journey, I would offer a few pieces of advice. Firstly, embrace your unique perspective and contributions, because diversity in the tech field is a strength. Secondly, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Challenges are opportunities for growth. Seek mentorship and build a supportive network, as collaboration is key in the dynamic industry. Stay curious, continuously learn, and stay updated on technological trends. Lastly, believe in your capabilities. You have the power to shape the future of technology. Your journey is both individual and collective. And by sharing experiences and supporting each other, we can create a more inclusive and innovative tech landscape for everyone.
Thank you very much for that. Yes.
Welcome.
Ladies, you heard that. Be confident, believe in yourself. Do not shy away from challenges. Challenges are an opportunity for growth. So if you have a challenge at work, there's a project that seems like, it's going to take your life, go at it, headstrong. You have what it takes to do a good job, so go at it. Finally, for you, Norma, I'd like to know, if you look back at your younger self, picture that moment when you were in college and you were going to make that switch from accounting to commerce. If you could tell that younger version of yourself something, what would it be right now?
So for me, it will definitely be not to fear failure. Don't be afraid to fail, right? And in a dynamic world of technology, failure is actually guaranteed that it will happen, right? But it can also be failure can also be used as a stepping stone for success. So for me, it will be an advice to say, look, go in there with all that you know how to do it. You will make mistakes, you lack knowledge, but with those failing lessons, that's how you actually learn to actually move forward. And that's it, because when I look back with my career, I knew nothing about cybersecurity. And I know for a fact that I've made 1,000 mistakes where I ended up in my line manager's office, but it had to take those failure moments for me to know to do the right thing the next time. So don't be in fear. Fear sometimes is good because it's a learning journey of your career. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. So don't be afraid to fail. When you're failing, remember that you're failing forward, right? Remember that you're failing forward, so don't be afraid to fail. So final words from you, Shito. Just wrap it all up for us. You're muted.
I don't know that there's much to say after what Noma and Yasmin have said, but I think that something that is very important is to build relationships along the way. Because Noma said, for instance, about the person that told her that why not try cybersecurity, and these are like relationships. So I can't tell you how much like Honestly, for most of the jobs I have gotten in my career, it has been based off of people knowing people, because like I wasn't moving into it as like, oh, I want to network or anything. It's actually genuine interest in people, because aside from them being, oh, the CEO or like head of this, they're actually human beings with lives and interests and ideas and desires. So like I think that aside from, obviously it's really important to get ahead in your career, but I think that along the way, just take time to get to know people and just try to build relationships, not for what you can get, but just for the fact that people are very interesting with varying insights. And you never know like how what you learn from person A or person B would impact you along the way. So I think that that's something aside from what has been said. I think that's something that has really helped me in my career so far.
Thank you so much for that, Shito. Of course, I feel like people are the biggest gifts that you can have. So pay attention to relationships. Pay attention to relationships. From my end, I would say, just like I think it was Yasmin who said that, don't be afraid of challenges. Do not be afraid of solving wicked problems, right? You take on some projects and they just feel like this is so difficult. I don't think any other person has done it, but you can do it. Do not shy from projects like that. I'm sure that in your place of work, there's probably that one colleague who is always, ready to take on a challenge. There's a project and the person is telling your line manager, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. So be that person. Don't be that person who's hiding behind some other person's back, right? Let everybody know that you have value to offer. And when it's time to speak up for yourself, please speak up for yourself. Like Shita rightly said, document your wins. That's one thing I also do. I document my wins so that when it's time for appraisal, I'm not scampering about and saying, oh, what have I done in the last 6 months, right? So pay attention to all of these things. I'm sure that there's a recording of this session, so you'll be able to make records of these. I believe that the organizers would give all of us access to, watch this over and over and over again. So thank you very much for your time. We hope that you enjoyed doing this with us. I absolutely enjoyed it myself. Thank you very much. So over to you, Aurelia.
Wow, 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 wow. What an enlightening session that was. Ladies, I would like to see, comments from you. I would like to see reactions from you. How was the session for you, or something that you learned, or something that really, really stood out for you? I would like to see reactions from us. Yes, I can already see some persons reacting. Yes, yes. Please let's use the chat box to react and say something. How was the session today? What was something that really stood out for you? What was something that you really, really learned that this is my take home? As I am going back home, this is what I'm taking. I would like to hear from us. So I'd just like to say thank you to Shita, thank you to Yasmin, thank you to Norma, thank you to our wonderful moderator, Temi Tokwe, for today's session. It was really, really insightful. My note is full. I know I learned a lot. So it's time for questions, but we don't have so much time to take questions. So we'll just take a few questions in the next 10 minutes. So if you have questions, we have a Q&A section for you to actually put your questions in, and then we can take it. So if there are some, because everyone is using the chat, so it's very easy for us to miss out on your question in the chat. So if you have a question, quickly go put it in the Q&A section, and then we'll quickly take and we'll round up the session. So we are drawing already to the end of the session. I can see people already commenting saying it was really, really an awesome time. Even some people who came late, they're still able to get one or two things. Some people saying, oh, they are really, really glad to be here. Such an inspiring moment. Yes, yes, that's what we see. Baby Zola saying, all I see here are women brave, exploring the world of tech. And you can't be like that also. You can't be like that. Okay, I think Ngozi is saying that she started a course on cloud computing, and it has not been easy, but encouragement from every one of our guests has really been helpful for her. We are really, really glad. Pentela says that was a mind-blowing session. Awesome, awesome. So if you have questions, quickly put them in the Q&A section, and we'll get to them right about now. I'm checking the Q&A now. I can't see any question. Okay, I think I can see a question in the chat. I just hope it does not um it does not go. Okay, I think there's a question on, is there a community or platform that you can join? Okay, so is this question? So okay, let's do it this way. We have all of our speakers that are from each of our learning tracks. If you have a question, say something concerning data management, data analysis, Yasmin is your plug. But if you have something concerning web design, Chito is there for you. If you have something concerning cybersecurity, we have Norma here for you. And if you have question concerning product management, we have Tim. So, for instance, I'd just like to get to be clear. Is this a general question? That are you asking tech for them if you have a community platform you can join, or is this in reference to a particular learning track or a particular career field that you want to specialize in that you would like to know? So please just clarify that. I'll just um I'll just okay. There's a question here saying, what aspect of your job do you each find the most rewarding? Do we have time to take from everybody? Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so someone is saying that are there any free classes currently you want to learn cybersecurity and data analysis? Well, we mentioned earlier that we have the Women Techsters boot camp, and the good thing about the Women Techsters boot camp is that it is free, and you can actually learn. You can you can learn about cybersecurity and data analysis, the most basic skill that you need for either of those learning tracks. You can learn them there. So okay, so I have other questions. So I think I'll just take it. I'll just take it. I'll just take it one by one. So, Norma, hi Norma. If you could please just tell us, what is the what's that question? What aspect of your job do you find the most rewarding? Hi Norma, over to you.
Hi. Cool. So the aspects of my job that I found rewarding, it's the fact that I'm able to protect the organization's assets. Sometimes it's actually trying to identify if there's been a breach or there's been an incident when we're trying to find the root cause, how the threat vector was able to go into our network, it comes with a lot of thinking, as well as a lot of research and investigation, right? But once we finally get that, it's a learning as well. Because another thing, like I mentioned earlier, that cybersecurity is not cut in stone, right? If you were compromised this particular way today, it may not be the same way we can be compromised as an organization tomorrow, So for me, it's also like I'm still being schooled by me being able to identify how the threat vector was able to go in. So I find it so rewarding because I'm also being taught and my skills are also elevating in a way, besides being paid a salary after month end in a way. So yeah.
Okay, yes, thank you so very much for that question. So there's another question here that I'd like to direct to Yasmin. Hi Yasmin, so the question goes forth. Salwe says, thank you so much for this opportunity. Can you also talk about landing your first job after learning a skill like coding? When should you apply, and how do you go about getting entry level opportunities?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Okay, so the question goes that, can you talk about landing your first job after learning a coding skill, right? When should you apply, and when can you get entry level opportunities?
Yes, so maybe I will go back like 18 years before. It was my first job as a project manager. So even if I had the software engineering graduation, okay, from an engineering school, my first job was really to manage projects. So I was first a project manager, but it was clearly very important to have big skills in terms of programming and software engineering, because I had to also to challenge the people who were making the developments, and so I had really the hat to be able to challenge and to see even the codes and all the output and the deliverables made by the development team. So yeah, it was clearly, even if I was a project manager, which really it needs more soft skills, more soft skills than hard skills. As I said, I had also the possibility to challenge and to make sure that all the work and deliverables stick the need and stick to the specification that were already defined by the business.
Okay, thank you so very much for that. Thanks so very much for that, yeah. So just to recap, we need to ensure that you stick to the specifications that are in the JD. Ensure that it aligns with the skills that you actually have. Thank you. So there is someone who's asking here that I say platform I can join on product design. Luashita, I know you're not a product designer, but would you have any platform you can recommend for budding designers?
Sure. So I know that HNG does internships every year, hotel HNG. So they do these internships everywhere. They put you in a group with developers, just like starting out like you. So you get to build a real project at the end of it. So there's that. For communities, gosh, I've been so out of it for a while, but HNG is the first one I'm thinking of. And I think that there's Asha Koteri, but I don't know if they're still like up and about. Um, there is oh my god, Talent QL. I've forgotten what their name is called, but these are all Nigerian. I'm not sure of the ones that kind of are outside Nigeria, unfortunately. Those are the ones that I can think of right now. But if I think of any more, I can share with Ore and she would relate. Or if you just send me a message,
Okay.
I'll ask around.
Okay, thank you so much, Oluwashita. I would actually be posting the LinkedIn profile to all of our speakers in the chat very, very soon. Unfortunately, we can only take one more question, and I would like to direct that question to our wonderful moderator, Temi Tokwe. Just before I ask that question, I was going to say that even at Tech for the we have a budding community that you can join once you're a part of any of our training programs and you get drafted into the community, and you can get to interact with women, like-minded women, and then you can get to learn a lot from them. So there are two questions that were just asked that I would like to quickly put into one and ask Tim Tokwe. Hi Tim Tokwe, I do hope you're still here with us.
Yes,
So okay, awesome. So the question goes, I don't know if this is related, but how can you manage imposter syndrome in tech? And yes, how can you manage imposter syndrome in tech? And do you need passion? Do you need passion in order to succeed in tech? Yes. So over to you, Tim Tokwe.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the second question. And honestly, I'm not of the opinion that you need passion to do your job. You cannot always depend on passion, because if you depend on passion, there are days when you're passionate and there are days when you're out of it. You don't feel like it. So, do you not do your work on those days? The answer is no. You have to do your job. So, I do not think that you need passion. What I think you need is determination. Just be determined to do good work. I think that if you're someone who prides yourself in doing good work, I always tell people that I pride myself in doing good work. Like, I like to do good work. I like that the quality of my work is good before even any other person tells me that it is good. And for that reason, I will do good work because it brings me satisfaction. So in order to do good work, I will not depend on passion alone. Passion is no, I think that's a sure way to fail in, right? So passion might seem nice, but please hold on to determination. I think that's a better way to work around it. So you do not exactly need passion, right? Just do your work and do it well. So that's for that. And for the second question, how do you handle imposter syndrome? Honestly, I think that everybody has their fair share of this, but you just have to always remind yourself that, like we say in local palace, that you sabi this thing, especially if you know that you know the work, right? You know that you know the work. So just always remind yourself that you know the work and you do the work. So that voice that says, oh, you're not doing well, or you're a fraud, whenever you hear that voice in your head, just silence it. And like I said, and like Shito said, document your wins so that on days when you feel like you're a fraud, you can go back and read them and they can spur you on, right? So if you feel like you're not doing great, just go back to that document where there's a screenshot of your colleague saying, "Oh my God, thank you for this. You did so well." Just go back and read stuff like that. And of course, I think that that way you'd be able to get over imposter syndrome. Everybody feels that way. So if you're feeling that way, I don't want you to beat yourself up or anything. Just remind yourself that you actually know the work and that you do the work, and give yourself a pat on the shoulder. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so very much for that, Temi Talk. That was really insightful. Unfortunately, we can't take any more questions as we are really pressed for time. And we just have one more section to go, two more actually. We'll quickly hear from one of our representatives here at TechForDev as to the Women Sectors Bootcamp. I know that quite a number of us here have some questions about it. Dora also mentioned it in her speech earlier. It's a training program, and you've come here, you've listened to a lot of women tell you what it takes to actually start a career in tech. And the next step that I would always encourage you to register for the Women Sectors Bootcamp, where you get to actually learn some of these technical skills that are needed if you want to be a product designer, you want to be a cybersecurity analyst, you want to be a data analyst, you want to be a product manager, product designer. The bootcamp is the right place for you. I have one of my colleagues on the call, Favor. In the next 3 to 5 minutes, she'll just share some insights to what the bootcamp is all about. Those of you that want to register, how to go about registering, and any other questions that you may have. We are doing this in 3 to 5 minutes. We are taking our pictures and then to be goodbye from this end. Over to you, Favor.
Hi, Aurelia. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Favor. We can't hear you.
Okay, please, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear now.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to join you on the call. Thank you so much to our amazing panelists. It has been so nice listening to you guys. I've learned a lot personally, and I'm so excited that I got to be a part of this. And well done to you, our moderator. To thank you for hitting the nail on the head, as if you had our mind. You knew what we wanted to know. Thank you for asking the right questions, and thank you, ladies, for preferring the right solutions to them as well. So I've seen quite a lot of questions as regards how you can get to upskill yourself as a beginner. So under one of the programs that we have here at Tech for Dev, we are the Women Techsters Bootcamp program. So the open day, which is just like a form of advocacy, we don't just let you go afterwards. There's a training that we offer you. It's a 3 weeks training. We know that, okay, fine. You can tell me that, okay, 3 weeks is not enough for me to become a cybersecurity analyst, but even the open day is enough to instill that interest in you, but we just want to fuel that interest as well. So currently, the Women Textiles Bootcamp is accepting application, and this application is open to ladies across 22 African countries. So you get to have training across 5 learning tracks, which is the data analysis, product design, product management, software development, and cybersecurity. So we get to have this training, and it's going to run for 3 weeks. And aside that, we get to upskill you with certain soft skill, wherein after you'll be able to work with your colleagues to work on a capstone project and get certified afterwards. So the Women Textiles Bootcamp runs concurrently, but this is the best opportunity. And I can tell you that this particular open day just happened to work in line with the application, as the application is on and it will be closing on Sunday, the 28th of January. So if you are on this call and you've had certain things that just make you want to do, okay, I want to go into tech and I want to really fuel my interest in certain learning track, this is an amazing opportunity for you. I'm very sure we'll be dropping the link here in the comment section. You can just click on the link and apply. I mentioned previously that it's open to ladies across 22 African countries, and we have 5 learning tracks. And another interesting thing about the Women Textiles Bootcamp is that we run 2 batches. We have batch A and batch B. So if you're someone that you currently run a very busy schedule, you can just go with the weekend batch. And if you're someone that you have the levity of time, you can just go with the weekday batch. We have amazing facilitators from across the world as well. And we're very sure that it will be an amazing experience. You get to meet people across 22 African countries. I get to collaborate with them on certain projects. So this is an amazing opportunity. Ensure that you share this opportunity with your network as well, and ensure that the aim to just bridge the digital gap is being achieved by every single one of us. So thank you so much, Orioluwa. And big kudos to ladies on the call. Thank you so much for coming on board. It has been so nice to listen to you. And if there will be any question as regards to bootcamp, I will be here to provide answers to that. Thank you so much, guys. And I really wish that this is just the beginning and you're ready to kickstart the journey. And I hope that I can't say it will be smooth, but I hope that you have an amazing experience when you start that. Yeah, over to you, Olua. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right, thank you so very, very much, Favor. Thank you so much for keeping to time. And thank you so very much. Tuan is asking, can I apply for the bootcamp while I'm in South Africa? Yes, yes. If you remember earlier, we mentioned that we are currently in 22 African countries. South Africa is one of them. So without further ado, we've come to the time for pictures. We'll just take, I always say that it's always good to, make memories and have something that we can always post on the ground to say, yes, I attended this event. So it's time for pictures, and I'll just be promoting some of us to panel session. Or let me see. Let me see if there's a way I can do it such that I can see. Okay, nope, nope, nope. So please just give me one moment. Yeah, so I'll be promoting a few of us to the panel session so that we can turn our videos on, smile, and then take pictures. So if you'd like to take pictures with us, our digital media team is already on ground. If you'd like to take pictures with us, just raise your hand and I'll promote you to panelist, to a presenter, and then we would, oh, I can see quite a number of people have already raised their hand. So Favor, thank you for answering all these questions in the chat. I'll do this quickly. Okay. So I am already promoted. I've promoted you to presenter. Kindly turn your video on and get ready with your beautiful smiles to take pictures with us. Please ensure that you are in a conducive environment where you can actually, turn your video on, you can actually take pictures, and then we can have an amazing time. Okay. All right, if you're in the panel session, you can turn your video on. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, I think I can see some people have already started turning their videos on. Beautiful. Okay, I think I've promoted quite a number of persons now. Let's see. Yes, so if you are in the if you are now a presenter, if you are one of the presenters, please kindly turn your video on and then we can take the pictures. Please just give me one moment. Trying to, okay. All right, I want to make sure that we can see as many people as possible. No, I can see Oluwatune saying she'd have really loved to, but she's currently in transit. So okay. Please. All right. So if your video is on, let me just see your hand so it's easy for me to spotlight you, and then we can take our pictures. Hi Molayo, are you ready for us to take our pictures? Hi Molayo, hi Thomasin.
Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome. Just trying to spotlight a little more persons so that we can have more people in our we can have more people in our video. Okay. Please, if you've been made a presenter, kindly turn your video on so that we can see you, and then okay. All right, so I think we spotlighted a couple more persons. Hi Malaya, is this fine? Can we get our video done now? Hermela, are you ready for us?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So there's something I always like to say whenever we would want to take pictures. I always like for us to unmute and then for us to say women in tech. So are we ready? Please, if you have been made a presenter, kindly turn your video on so that we can see your beautiful face and take beautiful, beautiful pictures. Awesome. So you can just unmute and say women in tech, everybody. Are we ready to go? 3, 2, 1, go. Women in tech.
Women in tech.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. Let's take one more shot again. So we'll do it once again. 3, 2, 1, and then you
Women,
just unmute and say women in tech. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Women
Women
in
in
tech.
Awesome, 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 amazing. Thank you all so much once again for joining today's session. Thank you for staying till the end. It's officially 6 p.m. West African time, and we have come to the end of the January edition of the Women Textiles Open Day. Thank you once again to all of our speakers. Thank you, Oluwashito. Thank you, Norma. Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you to our wonderful moderator, Temi Tokwe. Thank you so much for sharing out of the wealth of your knowledge. Ladies, go tell the world all you've learned. Make sure you connect with all of our speakers and moderator on LinkedIn and other social media. And of course, ensure you're following us Tech Forever across all social media platforms so that you're kept abreast of all opportunities in tech that are waiting. Thank you all and goodbye from this. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye. Thank
everyone.
you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.